Hello, everybody. I'm here with Hank Klosterman. How we doing today, Hank?
It's
We usually, me and Hank are coming to you bright and early Saturday morning. We usually do this after the close on Friday, but I don't know. Something come up yesterday, couldn't make it work. So here we are. What do you know, Hank? What happened in the market this week?
well, I'm going to start with what happened last night, and I got overserved. So
Start with
I,
what did happen
I
last night,
told you.
actually.
So we'll start with that before I get an analysis. But looking at we're going to do two-sided framework here on it. But looking at the futures market, we're having a pretty good bounce here. We had 8 consecutive days of up in feeder cattle market, and I'm calling it somewhat of a hollow bounce because I watch the open interest every day, and the open interest has gone down, but we've rallied. So it tells me that a lot of who's ever in there short is short covering. So, they're buying, but it's leveling those positions out. So it's a hollow bounce, meaning that it could be somewhat of a dead cat bounce. Well, we came into Thursday and saw a big drain, and it was down $8-9. But what that, and you're thinking, okay, now the dead cat bounce is over. But really what it is there is that we saw some computer selling go on, and there was a big rumor that, might have been a headline that traded it down. Well, it became a false rumor, which was Amarillo plant might have some difficulties or maybe be shutting down. Well, I can tell you with all the people that I do business with in Southwest Kansas and in Texas Panhandle is that Amarillo's never going to close down. They got enough cattle commitments, and so that was a rumor. And it's funny how that headline goes through, takes 800 points out of the market, and then you came into Friday.
Who started that false rumor? Somebody that was shorting it?
Yeah, yeah. There's always that inside trade, and
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of would you buy the rumor, sell the fact, and I think this was the opposite: sell the rumor, buy the fact kind of deal. I think you and I have talked about that market being in play here for the last 6 years. Is that it's been the opposite? Is where you can sell a rumor and buy the fact, because we'll get into the fundamental side of that, but on the technical side, you look back and we're talking, futures is, yesterday seemed kind of wonky and weak, but we had a really good close on the week. If you look at it, we rallied back, $3 on the last hour of the market there. And it technically put us in a really strong position to follow through next week. That September feeder is kind of key at that 344 level, and we settled about $1.50 above that. The fats, 224 was a real decision point on the October contract. We settled well above that. So piss poor day on Thursday for the of the markets, but Friday very strong close, and I look for a new money Monday is what I'm going to call it.
New
Is
Money
you
Monday.
get
I'm
in there.
looking forward to that. Are you optimistic about it then? Get that some of that
Yeah,
new money is going to come out and play.
yes. And you know what? I'm optimistic because we can talk the futures market, but honestly, piss on the futures. Let's talk about
Yeah, piss
fundamentals.
on the futures.
Yeah. Talk about fundamentals. Cash trade, $2 higher.
That's
And end of the week strong here. They actually traded some cattle on the Fed Cattle Exchange, 50 cents higher than the previous day. Cash trade, even with the market down. And if you look at it, we just are starting to get into the Flint Hills run cattle. Is that it kind of, for 2 weeks, it was, oh, well, there's no cattle around. Well, it was hot and the market really wasn't there. Now we're starting to see these cattle show up. And I can tell you right now, you could take 5 different auction barns in the Flint Hills of Kansas there, and 8 weight steers back in the 360s. We got a hell of a market here on some of those steers. And so 235 fat cattle, 360 on the 8 weight, good green grass steers. I look for this thing to point upwards here. I'm not going to say it's going to go to all-time highs, but I really do think that we've set ourselves up for a good market next week. And on the physical side, like I said, piss on the futures is, I think that we probably got one more week of really strong cash cattle market. And you look at where the physical feeders are. I like where that's going. Next week, I think I'm a seller of some of my own inventory, because I think we're going to have a good market next week. That feeder cattle index looks to jump. Monday's going to have a hell of a day for feeder cattle index. So, I'm one that's going to take advantage of this market. On the physical side, on myself is cool weather. Probably going to play a little bit of cowboy, get stuff rounded up, get it off the grass, get it to town.
That sounds like a plan. Sounds like a good plan. And that's some optimistic news. Sounds a little bullish. So I'm looking forward to that.
It sounds bullish, but I just want to look at it and say, like that shit day we had on Thursday is Shake It Off. What was it? Taylor Swift? Is that her song? Shake It Off. So
I think that was T Swift. She's married now, so get your eyes off.
Shake It Off. And Friday, healthy close. You got a healthy close usually leads you into New Money Monday.
Speaking of heat indexes, did you hear the other day that gentleman that invented the heat index died like 2 days ago?
Who?
He was 87, but he looked like he was 93, according to his own index.
Yeah.
Did that joke not land?
Yeah. Solid.
Yeah. It's pretty early in the morning for me to be trying to tell a joke, actually.
I haven't even had coffee yet.
You haven't? I'm on a cup of
coffee. You rolled me out of bed. I'm telling you, I got overserved last. It's our town days, like call it Bellwood days.
Town days in David City or Columbus?
No, it's river folk down in
Bellwood. River folk town days.
You've been there. I hauled you there in a conversion van one time. Remember that?
I remember. That's right. Old Bellwood and the conversion van. Yeah, that was a good.
Might have been a scuffle or two there after a good roping.
That'll happen. That'll happen.
Yeah, at the bigger deals.
All those bigger jobs. Well, that was good. Thanks for the insight, Hank. Appreciate it as always. Getting into anything. I'll tell you what can fix that hangover, and you know it as well as I do. Get back into it, Hank.
Oh, I'm gonna bite the dog that bit me today. It's we're actually gonna be back in the 90s, and guess what? We're gonna have. I think it's gonna be 92 and actually feel like 92. Normally, it's 92 feels like 108 kind of deal. It's gonna feel like a pretty good day here, which I'm optimistic about, just for the fact that got town festival deal going on.
There's a lot of activity over there
to get into. What are you getting into today?
Not really sure. The boss hasn't got up and told me yet.
No, she's probably out running 3 miles, and you're just.
We're not doing much.
What are you watching? Cartoons this morning? Got your footy pajamas on? I guess you're
got a little Fox News going in the background. not learning anything.
Fox News yet? You should call Grandma Beth, and you guys can talk about politics. You guys watching Fox News?
I should. So. I would love to chit chat Grandma Beth and see what her conspiracies are these days.
Yes, you boomers can get together and work up some sort of conspiracy. Watching the news.
That's a good idea. Well, thanks a bunch. Appreciate you doing it on a Saturday morning for me.
Yeah, I hope this actually turns out, because like I said, just rolled out of bed, a little fuzzy. So
you look good. You look good, but it's awful hazy over here.
But
all right, buddy. We'll tell Molly and the kids hi, and have you a good weekend. We'll catch up with you next Friday.
Sounds great.
All right. Thanks. Hank. Appreciate you.